Gentlemen, ladies, let me start with a truth that most people will never hear openly. You cannot have a deep, fulfilling, intimate relationship if you don't understand the female body, and most men honestly don't. They think they know. They think that watching a little bit of media, hearing locker room talk, or repeating myths from friends has taught them enough. But here's the reality. When you actually learn how the female body is designed, how it responds, and how much wisdom is hidden in its anatomy, your confidence skyrockets, your respect grows, and your partner's trust in you deepens. I am Dr. Yonde, specialist in sexual health and performance, and today we are going to dive into a subject that too many men ignore: the fascinating details of the female anatomy that directly shape intimacy, pleasure, and connection. Before we go further, let me pause here. If you are truly serious about improving your health, your relationships, and your performance, subscribe to this channel now. Every week, I bring you practical, evidence based strategies that can transform not only your sex life, but your overall vitality and your relationship with yourself. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this with someone you respect. Because the truth is, knowledge should be shared, not hidden. Now let's get into it. Did you know that the clitoris and the penis are essentially twins? Yes, anatomically they are homologous, which means in the early stages of fetal development, they are the exact same structure. Later hormones guide whether that tissue becomes a penis or a clitoris, but the building blocks are identical: erectile tissue that fills with blood, sensitivity from thousands of nerve fibers, and an extraordinary ability to trigger pleasure. That right there should completely change the way you see female anatomy. The clitoris is not just a button. It is the only organ in the human body created exclusively for pleasure, with around 10,000 nerve endings, more than the fingertips, more than the lips, more than the penis itself. Imagine that. And yet, how many men still ignore it, rush past it, or treat it like an afterthought? But here's the deeper truth. Once you realize the clitoris is basically the female version of the penis, you stop thinking in terms of conquest and start thinking in terms of partnership. Arousal isn't just something you cause in her, it's something you awaken together through understanding how her body mirrors your own in ways you probably never imagined. Let's expand even further. The clitoris has its own foreskin, called the clitoral hood. Its purpose is protective, shielding those delicate nerve endings from friction and irritation. But like every part of the human body, it can have challenges: adhesions, discomfort, inflammation, just like men can have foreskin issues. This should remind you of a powerful lesson. Women's health needs the same respect and attention as men's, but unfortunately, too many women suffer silently. Many don't even realize that pain or reduced pleasure linked to the clitoral hood can often be treated by a specialist in a simple office procedure. Knowledge here isn't just about sex, it's about health, comfort, and dignity. Now let's move to something that breaks a lot of myths: the labia minora, the inner lips. They are as unique as fingerprints: long, short, dark, light, symmetrical, asymmetrical. Every variation is normal. The problem is that society, pornography, and even social media have created narrow ideals of what female genitals should look like. And so many women, especially younger ones, develop insecurity about perfectly normal anatomy. If you are a man listening to this, you need to know this truth. Variation is beauty. Respecting this uniqueness is one of the most powerful ways you can support your partner's confidence and help her feel safe with you. Because nothing kills intimacy faster than shame, and nothing builds trust faster than acceptance. But it gets even more fascinating. The vagina itself is an elastic, adaptable organ. At rest, it may be around 8 to 9 centimeters deep and 3 to 4 centimeters wide. But during arousal, its dimensions can almost double. The walls relax, blood flow increases, and the entire canal reshapes to welcome penetration. There's even a process called tenting, where the uterus and cervix lift upward, making more room. So when you hear men repeat nonsense about vaginas becoming loose after sex, you should immediately know that this is ignorance speaking. The vagina is designed for elasticity, for expansion, for resilience. It can stretch to accommodate childbirth and return to its baseline form. It is built for life, not fragility. And now here's a secret that too many people never learn. The vagina is self-cleaning. It maintains its own ecosystem through a carefully balanced microbiome. Good bacteria, especially lactobacilli, keep the pH slightly acidic to protect against infections. That means that harsh soaps, perfumes, and vaginal douches do more harm than good. They strip away the natural protection and create risk. Ladies who experience recurrent infections, dryness, or irritation often don't realize that the problem may not be them. It may be external products disrupting what nature already designed perfectly. For older women, especially after menopause when estrogen levels drop, this balance can weaken. But even then, medical support exists like local estrogen therapy that restores the microbiome and comfort. So, what does all of this mean for you as a man, as a partner, or simply as a human being wanting to understand better? It means that intimacy is not about tricks, positions, or quick moves. It is about knowledge and presence. When you know that the clitoris is the twin of the penis, you respect it. When you know that the vagina expands and adapts, you stop worrying about unrealistic myths. When you know that the vulva's diversity is natural, you stop comparing your partner to false images and start celebrating her uniqueness. And when you understand that the vagina is self-protecting, you stop introducing harmful products and start honoring its natural intelligence. But let's deepen this conversation, because sexual satisfaction is not just biology. It's also psychology, emotion, and connection. A woman's body responds best when she feels safe, understood, and respected. That's when her nervous system can switch from alert mode to receptive mode. And here is something you probably never heard before. The female brain needs to feel trust before the female body can fully surrender. That's why foreplay isn't just touching her body. Foreplay is how you speak to her, how you listen, how you make her laugh, how you remove distractions, how you create an environment where her mind can finally let go. If you don't understand that, you will miss the most important organ of arousal, the brain. Let's also talk about health. Women after menopause often face changes in lubrication, elasticity, and arousal. But with communication, treatment, and patience, intimacy can remain deeply satisfying. In fact, many couples report that sex after 60 or 70 can be more enjoyable than when they were young, because there's less performance pressure, more honesty, and deeper emotional connection. That's why understanding anatomy isn't about being technical. It's about being prepared for every season of life and honoring the body as it evolves. And here's another insight. Men who truly understand female anatomy also reduce their own performance anxiety. Why? Because knowledge replaces fear. Instead of asking awkward questions like, "Did you come?" which often kill the moment, you will be able to read the signs of arousal, muscle tension, breath changes, body flush, verbal cues. You'll know when you're close, and you'll know how to stay consistent when it matters most. That kind of awareness doesn't just make you a better lover, it makes you unforgettable. So here's my challenge to you. Stop treating intimacy as a guessing game. Stop letting myths and silence dominate your understanding. Educate yourself, not just with videos like this, but with books, conversations, honest dialogue with your partner, and openness to medical advice when needed. Because the more you know, the better you both feel. And I'll leave you with this. Women's bodies are not fragile mysteries. They are resilient, intelligent, and profoundly designed. The clitoris, the labia, the vagina, the microbiome, all of it works together like a symphony. And when you honor that symphony, when you learn to listen instead of impose, you create intimacy that lasts, pleasure that deepens, and love that grows. I am Dr. Yonde, and if this spoke to you, subscribe right now. Because every week, I bring you the kind of science, wisdom, and practical advice that most men and women will never hear from their friends or their culture. Your body deserves respect. Your partner deserves understanding, and you deserve confidence that comes from real knowledge. Take care of yourself, honor your partner, and never forget. True intimacy begins with awareness.